let's get this party started. Whew. All right. How is everybody? Hey, how you doing? Been a while since I've seen you around. It's good to see you. Oh. Let me see. I'm going to jump onto... Oh, hey, look at that. I didn't realize that was the only thing that had... Discord. So yeah, so far it looks like you might be the only one logged in here. Let me see. Yeah, this way in case anyone from the Patreon community can jump onto the voice chat if you're interested in that. It's always fun. It's always fun. So, one second. So, yeah, I've been working on this piece for the ArtStation Challenge. And so far, it's coming along super fun. I'm really enjoying how it looks. Definitely a long way to go. But, you know, he's coming along. So, it's cool, right? And then yesterday on stream, I started working on his little speeder bike. Okay. Did a little bit of work on it last night, but... Oh, you caught a bit of the bike yesterday? Yeah, it's fun. It's been a fun process so far. I'm really excited about how it's turning out. It's something super different from what I usually do, and so it's been fun. It's been fun. Let me see. I think I do want to go through and kind of change up. Either change up the bottom shape to match that silhouette, which I actually think could be nice. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Okay. Let me grab that. Grab that. Yeah, it's like I don't even I don't even think about things too often. I just go ahead and try it out, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, I go back and I try it again. Okay, a little bit nicer. Just got to make sure that that's creating that right flow, kind of coming down. And I think we're pretty golden here. So how have you been doing? I haven't actually seen you on stream for quite a while now. I mean, you said you caught some of the making of the bike yesterday. But yeah, how have you been? Well, mostly just laying low. This weird year. Yeah, weird is a kind way of putting it. it's been a crazy year for sure. Busy with work, trying to get back into personal projects. Well, busy with work is not a bad thing. Bad thing to be busy with. I need to go through and set a timer for myself actually, just to make sure that I don't overstream today. I have some other things that I've gotta work on later. Definitely worse things to be busy with. Yeah, especially this year. That is definitely accurate. Yep, definitely accurate. Um, Timer. That's what I was getting on for. Let's give myself 2 hours. We'll say start. And once the timer goes out, we'll work on shutting up. Closing up stream. Okay, that's looking kind of nice. That's a little bit too separated. Okay. So now part of what I want to do is I want to figure out exactly where I want this this piece to go into. Oh, that needs to be mirrored and welded. Oh, it needs to be mirrored and welded. There we go. So that way you get that clean, the clean side mirrored over. Okay. Just kind of line that up a little bit better. Okay. I didn't even think about that. This needs to, I need to turn the display properties to like double or something so that I can see it. Okay. Cool. All right, let me see. I'm trying to decide. And I think I do. I want to take this this bottom piece. It's just too flat. I don't like having it so flat. I think I want to have it bowed some. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, pardon me. Let's go ahead and do this. Turn off the symmetry. Center the deformer. Let's get the bend curve. Then we got to change the orientation. Let me see. It's like if I were to do this, and then just kind of smooth it out. Yeah, I mean that really gets me kind of the shape that I'm hoping for. Could be all right. I'm going to kind of bend this up so that it's more or less in position to be like aligned with this surface down here. Something like that. Let's say accept. And then with this piece, let's go ahead and invert, Control A, Control Shift A, or whatever. And then we'll just smooth this out. I like that better. That has a sleeker feel. It feels more aerodynamic, feels more intentional, which that's a huge thing for me, is making something feel intentional. Come here, you. There we go. Cool. And then I've got a piece here on the inside. If we grab that, like Control Shift A, Control A, we can go ahead and take this. We can just kind of pull these down. Yeah, definitely more visual interest. I totally agree. Let's see, turn on symmetry, pull this back up. And let's try to like angle it so that it feels like it fits with that section there. Bummer. Let's get the move infinite depth. We'll just kind of get this to more or less match the curvature. Not entirely sure what these things are though, like what I would want them to be. I just kind of feel like they help to I don't know. I'll have to kind of figure out if they're not helpful, if they're not something that feels like it adds to the design or functionality of the craft, like, I don't know, I might go through and just get rid of it. It's sci-fi tech. That's all you need to know. It's sci-fi. What is it? It's sci-fi. I kind of want to take, let me see. Okay, let's take this and just kind of like boost it out a little bit. And then maybe what I can do is I can just take this and say, you know, inflate some. Smooth it out a bit right there. Puff it up some. Nah, I don't like that. I think that if I were to go through and do something like that, making the seat wider, make those parts emissive. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. Making some sort of emissive something down here, I think could be cool. And it might be something as just like, you know, adding like an LED light system in these grooves or something. I don't know. Still trying to go through and think about like exactly what to add and things like that, but you know, that sort of stuff will hopefully come with time. Now here I'm looking at this vest shape and I kind of want to like pull out the volume here a little bit more, so I'm just gonna don't know what happened there, but I don't care that it has poly paint layers. Okay. Something like that I think could be a little bit nicer. Trying to go back and forth depending on what it is that I discover in one side of the project. I've started going in and adding sort of like you know, exploring some of the textural ideas that I have for this character. So like, you know, with the fur over his shoulders, I've got this layer of lines that kind of just help to add an extra, just a little bit of interest. Sorry about that. And then trying to add like little like oil stain or something like that, and you know, some grease kind of trapped up in little crevices. I don't know, little things like that. I'm trying to figure out those sorts of things as I go. Lots that I still have to figure out though. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's try this. I'm gonna say mask. In fact, let's do this in layers. Make sure that I've got enough to really support it. Yeah, it's enough-ish. Okay, let's say add a layer. And then what I want to do is go masking, and I'd say mask by crease if I can. Let's see. Is there a mask by creases? Oh, there we go. Mask by feature, mask by crease. So you can see, like, that's getting me a very quick and easy set of edges. So now, let's see, Control H to hide that mask. And let's go ahead. Let's say my standard brush. Select that skin color, lighten it up some. We'll just kind of brush on some of this lighter color. In fact, I can go heavier with it. That's probably what I'll go ahead and do, is I'll go heavy with it. I love that. That's like that's super controlled. Okay, let's kind of bring some in here, bring some in down here, out into the hands. Okay, so now that I've got that applied, do I have any down here? I don't. Okay, so now that I've got that, what I can do is I can take that layer. Let's turn solo off. It's giving me this kind of interesting look. And I'm just going to kind of dial it back some. Now, if I want to, what's nice is that I can just do that again if I wanted to kind of add, you know, mask by features. Control H, like maybe for instance in some of these spots maybe it's too washed out. So maybe what I want to do instead is I can go ahead and select that color. Give myself something like that. Nah, I don't like that. But maybe it's good in a little bit of a spot. I don't know. Let's check it. Yeah, getting a little bit of that I think is helping to add some cool variation, but then leaving some of the washed edges there on the tip. I think that that's helpful. Let's see. Pull some of this in here around the eyes or something. Maybe it's no, I don't like it. I do like it there around the ears. I think that that works. I do want to test it kind of here on the fingers just to see, you know, let's get the color from the cheeks and pull that into the fingers because I think that that will, it's a little bit heavy. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pull that color from the cheeks again. Pull it in just a little bit stronger. Now let's kind of color the palm. It just feels like it would make sense. Kind of pull back some of the color here from the top of the hand though. The back of the thumb. Let's try this. Boost the color just a little bit and use this sort of color for the crease through the hairline just because I think that that'll work better. And then we'll have it fade to the color of the scalp back there so that it's less apparent as we go along. And I think that's coming along cool. That's working. It's working for me. Okay. I really like what I did with the fur on the shoulders. I think that that's working kind of well. I want to do something like that with the hair, but we'll get to that at some other point, I think. And then I'll probably do something like that also with this with the waistband from the vest. I need to grab some more cough drops. So yeah, that's a little bit of how this is going. See if I can actually kind of boost the edges here just a little bit. And we'll probably go through and try to make them feel dirty or something like that at some point. We'll have to figure that out. Okay, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and save this. I do want him to have some sort of bracer on like one arm. We'll have to see. Let's see what we get. Okay. Cool. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to keep building out this this base part. I want to finish it out. And I'm thinking I may even want to go ahead and create like an indentation here in the back. But I have yet to really decide on that. So we'll just leave it like that for now. Let's see. I'm gonna go grab cough drops. Figured I'd grab a good handful and refill my little stash, you know. Okay. Trying to decide. I'm liking a lot how it's looking. I think there's just a lot left to do. So let's just crack at it. Let's get cracking. The guy's story, so far I don't actually have an official story on him. I like to think though that he's kind of like running away from home. You know, he's got, you know, his own supplies and things like that. So he's just trying to make it, just trying to make it by. But yeah, like I haven't worked out the official backstory yet, which is something I want to. You know, it's easier to design a character when you have a backstory to motivate it and things like that. So, so yeah, I mean, there are things that I'm still kind of working through, but you know, it's good. Yeah, so it's just a little space biker, but he's run away from home. I think that's kind of what I'm shooting for there. Let me see. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate, or like, extend this out. Let's finish this. I need to take extrude polyloop. Uncrease that just to make sure that it's not creased where it shouldn't be. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to insert single edge loop. And I gotta clean this up so that, let's clean it up before I add that edge loop, just because that'll be a little bit easier. Okay, something like that. Let's grab the select lasso. Make sure that's the only thing that I've got on select. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to take this down. Meticulous indeed. And if it works quicker, I can be meticulous more quickly. So we've got one for there, we've got one for there, we got one for there. Yeah, let's lower this one a little bit. Not a ton, just a little bit. Say bridge, we'll take those together. Oops. Curing your Hearthstone addiction. You're welcome. Let's get this to kind of space out, even out a little bit. cozy that out a little bit. Some smooth, more productive. Well, I'm glad I could help you with that. Yeah, I try to be productive. Most days. I try to get my my students to watch live streams and things like that as part of their weekly assignments. And some people do it, and they're usually the ones that put in the most work with the assignments and everything. I find that when I do something, it's off center. Let me see, which side was it that I needed to keep? Was it this side? Yep. There we go. So keeping the right side of the vehicle, and that's good to know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the motivation is kind of the big idea for me anyway in watching watching different live streams. Just helpful. At the same time though, there are days where I go through and I either like let a show play in the background. So like earlier this morning while I was working, I was listening to Carmen Sandiego. And sometimes it's music, sometimes it's news. It could be different things. But yeah, it's just kind of an interesting thing, how different everybody is in seeking inspiration and staying motivated and things like that. Just add that right there in the middle. I knew that was going to happen. A desk drummer. Yeah, I do that all the time, and then my son chews me out. He's like, "Dad, stop." It's usually in the car, like when a good tune comes along and I'm trying to groove along with the music or whatever, and my son's just like, "Dad, stop." He doesn't like singing. He doesn't like anybody like jamming to the music. He's just very down to business sort of guy. Gotta check on something really quickly. I have a presentation to a school in Norway. On the 17th, and so I'm trying to make sure that I can kind of coordinate. Whew. Ejector seat. Nah, no ejector seats. It's a funny idea, though. You see, the shape got messed up. Got to go through and kind of finesse this this curve right here. Got a little bit shaky. I don't know how easy it is for you guys to see. I mean, it's taken me a while to get used to seeing points. To seeing points and being able to understand kind of the flow, and I feel like I still have you know, I still try to practice that and make sure that I'm, you know, understanding the flow, that I'm seeing the way that things are kind of fitting together, getting the continuity right and things like that. It's tricky. It's a tricky process, but it's definitely worth making sure that it's clean. Just trying to cozy things out, make sure everything's nice and clean and nice, you know, evenly spaced as much as I can. Some of these things, I mean, I'll probably leave some of these points like less finessed. Oh. Let me see. Let me see. Come do some presentations to Ireland. If I get an invitation, I mean, I'll figure out how that works. I mean, this is it's kind of an interesting opportunity. I never presented to a school overseas before. So it should be fun. That, and I have like no ties to Norway, so it's really interesting to be thinking about, you know, that sort of association, that sort of, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm excited. those points out so that their flow is better. So it's more better. A more better flow. You know what? We can do this. We can go ahead and we can say polygroups, auto groups. So that way we got this piece is its own group, and then the side piece is its own group. You don't like the tapping? Boom, out the roof. Could you show how to render when you finish the model? Yeah, I'll probably show a little bit about rendering at some point. I mean, rendering is kind of its own thing. Right now I'm mostly focused on getting the model done and ready and whatnot, but someone wants a render demo real bad. Yep. So to address the question, if these aren't meant for animation, are you being too hard on yourself? It is actually aimed at animation. I mean, the idea is to take it over into Maya and do some look dev on it, and you know, it's meant to be like real pipeline sort of stuff. So I mean, it's coming along nicely for, you know, the small amount of time that I worked on it. But yeah, it's definitely made for it's intended for animation. So even though it's not meant to deform, which I think might be what you're hitting at there, even though it's not meant for deformation, it still needs to be clean so that it doesn't have artifacts when it's smoothed. So you know, when I go ahead and hit the D key to be able to see the smooth preview, I can see that, you know, everything looks nice and uniform. There's some, you know, issues back here with these points. Yeah, let's get this. With these points, you can see how it sticks out a little bit more in that corner, but wow, Kevin really wants to see a render demo. But yeah, so that's the idea. That's the idea behind this, and it's for the ArtStation challenge. So I do need it to be, you know, as clean as I can make it, right? So, you know, as if I'm working in the pipeline. So that way, it's an example of, you know, me really doing industry work on this project. So yeah, it's kind of fun. It's a different. Is Kevin a bot? Probably not. No. Oh, there he goes. He just answered. No, Kevin is not a bot. But no, I probably will not do rendering demo. Okay, something like that. Something like that. Move that up so that it's a little bit more even, so that this piece down here is a little bit more evenly spaced. Let's come through here and we'll kind of mask out everything around that loop. And we'll say slide. It makes things a little bit more even, makes it a little bit nicer. de Ecuador. Pero si tiene preguntas en español, pregúnteme nomás. It's okay. I think English is like nobody's language. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Let me see. I'm trying to decide if I want to add a crease here or not, but probably not. Okay, let's see if we can finish adding in this section here. You know what? Let's get rid of this. So we've got that going on. And I think at some point around here, I'm going to need to have some sort of 5-pointed star, probably a few of them, just to be able to kind of change up the flow of the pieces coming in around here. This, I think I want to have this kind of flow over and around. So maybe what I'll do, let's go ahead and say insert. Put these in, bridge that to there, bridge that to there. Make sure that's the only thing that's selected. Looks like we're good. Okay. Take that down here like this, something like that. Let me see. Millón de preguntas que suelen responderse con lo que haces. You write far better English than most people as second language. Yeah, it's true. You do a really good job with it. It's English is not easy. I thought stars were bad. Stars are a tool. So anybody who tells you that they're bad doesn't know how to use them or why they exist. So let me show you an example. Like right here. Right here's a place where I have like flow coming from around this pill shape right here to be able to support this shape, and then I have flow coming in here to kind of support this, support the flow here. It's just to be able to change the flow. So you can see like you've got this loop coming through. You got this loop going up, this loop going in, and this loop going back. And so this is kind of what's creating this flow here. And this, in fact, let me kind of go through and kind of trace over that. And let's make it green because green means good. Okay, so we're getting this flow here. We're getting this flow that comes down and around. We're getting this flow that's coming up and out. We're getting this flow that's going back, and we're getting this flow that's kind of coming up. Okay, so you're getting these 5 points right here coming around this single point right here. Okay, this is a good thing. This is something that allows you to kind of take care of different structural needs. You'll get these all the time inside of a character's face, usually around places like around the mouth where there's a change in flow to be able to support animation deformation, around the eyes, around the ears. You might even get 6-pointed stars. Like, sorry. um, yeah, around the ears you get like 6 pointed stars because of the extrusion coming out of the head to make that ear. I go into this really in depth in the tutorial series that I have in the course that I offer. Um, it's up on my ArtStation store. You can see the link over here. So if you're interested in checking that out, go ahead and check that out. And I go into pretty in depth, and I show the full process. You know, making a character from a sphere and going in and having a fully topologized model. It's really cool. It's a really great series, and I've got a few people that have gone through and started taking it and have enjoyed it so far. So yeah. Um, Yeah, it's really just a matter of like what you need them to do. So I mean, here's some more, and they're just going around to be able to control the amount of topology. This topology, like it's to be able to create a change in flow, to be able to support different shapes in the model. And you can see, like, if I get my smooth deformation on, you don't really see it. So it's really handy. With a character, you want to be careful about where they are so that you don't have um, weird artifacts. Artifacts meaning that like they leave weird bumps or stretching in the geometry, or yeah, it can be really kind of messy. But it's important. It's important to be able to. It's important to be able to use them correctly. Okay, right here I'm trying to figure out what it is I need to do to make this work. I need these to go over and up. Saca las empanadas. Yeah, I need to get some empanadas. I offered to get some yesterday. My wife's trying to cut back on flour, gluten based products, and so it's like try not to so often. So the thing with my course, I tried to make it all inclusive, but then there are also modules that you can get. So if you wanted to learn about just the topology stuff, there's the just the topology, and it's not nearly as expensive as the full course. Um, but yeah, I mean it's still um, yeah. Yep, I get it. Okay. A ver. Okay, so I need insert an edge loop here. Bridge this to here. And I need to insert 2 edge loops here. Okay, so far that's starting to come together. Okay, so right here is where we start to have a need for figuring out how this is going to cross So let's go ahead and let's say insert single edge loop here. Say extrude edge out here. Oh, maybe not right there. Okay, let me see. So we've got one coming up here, which this is going to need to kind of branch up there. Say bridge edges up to there. And then I'm going to add in an edge loop here. And we'll bridge that. That could be kind of cool, having it kind of branch out and kind of ease out here at the end. Not that it's something that you'd ever see because of like placement or whatever, but might be controversial. Did you train Polygon? No. In fact, I didn't even learn about Ben. His last name DeAngelis, is that right? Polygon. I didn't learn about him until I think he started streaming on Pixelogic recently. More recently than I've been streaming. I've been streaming for Pixelogic for about 5 years now, I think. And that's like when he started streaming. That's when I learned about him. Yeah, and I do try to stream regularly, and a lot of what I do have in my course, or in my courses, I guess, I've got other tutorials and things on my ArtStation or on my Gumroad or things like that. That's that's stuff that I try to put out for free as like tidbits, because I do recognize that there are it's not it's not easy. It's not easy being a learning artist, especially in this economy, in this time of the pandemic, and all the garbage that's going on. It's hard, and I know that very firsthand. And like, if anybody knows it, I'm definitely your guy to know how hard it is. But there are a couple of things to consider too. Is that there are there are artists out there trying to support themselves and their families, and by offering up our knowledge, we're also training our own competition. So making a hard world harder for ourselves at the same time. And so those of us who know really well how to do what we do, it just really makes some things really difficult if we're kind of training our competition and not getting compensated for it. So that's why we go through and we do things like, have a Patreon account, or why we have um, tutorials and resources that we sell and things like that. So it's not as a way to kind of take advantage of our audience. It's more a way to be able to try to to take advantage of our skills more like it. It's a product that people want, and it's kind of you know when you have something somebody wants, that's how business works. So yeah. So as you work as an artist, or as anything you do, um, if you do it better than someone else, or if you have advice or tips and tricks to offer, don't feel like it's out of your right to do it and ask money. If somebody wants it, they'll buy it. And I've already made quite a bit of money off of that course. So it's been an extreme help to me and my family, especially as we've gone a year without work. It's been a hard time. I've gotten really close on a lot of good jobs with big companies, but just the state of the industry, it's been hard. It's been very hard. But it'll get better. I mean, I've got plans that I'm trying to put into motion and things like that. That'll help with everything. So. Love stylized art, so tutorials are worth it for me. Oh, good. I'm glad to see that you enjoy tutorials. Para modelado hard surface, ¿recomiendas modelar con polígonos o esculpir con sculptures y luego hacer topología? Depende, pues, porque pues para mí, igual tengo un curso que explica todo esto con más profundidad, pero para mí me ayuda bastante hacerlo en la forma que más me llegue en el momento. Um, eh, para enseñarte el curso que tengo para eso. Um, Aquí tengo hard surface en ZBrush, pero lo tengo en español también. Esto explica como de tal vez 3 o 4 maneras de poder utilizar como técnicas de producir hard surface modelados ahí en ZBrush. Okay, so I explained like a good 3 or 4 different techniques in this course about creating hard surfaces inside of ZBrush. Yeah, it's a fun one. I'll send you guys a link in case you wanted it. Let me see. Your course has got to be worth it. It's weight in gold. If I was in a position to buy it, I'd snap it up. Yeah, so in what I did with my course too is that specifically with this stylized character modeling for animation, each of these modules, so like there's the topology instruction a la carte, there's the 3D printing engineering a la carte. Each of these comes with the resources. So you're not just getting the videos, but you're also getting some resources. You're getting the posed model. I'm trying to remember what else I put into that resources folder. They're the lectures PDFs. So even if you didn't get the full thing, you still get the PDF lectures from the different character design presentations that I do throughout the course. Which I find to be really helpful. I'm trying to remember what else. There were a couple of IMM brushes. Like I have my standard hair brush that I included, that I used to be able to make this. That I used to be able to make a whole bunch of my different characters. I have my IMM primitives brush that I always use to replace the standard one inside of ZBrush. I hate the one inside of ZBrush. So here's mine. It's got the cubes, and it's got cylinders and spheres and Q-spheres, and it's got these rings and a star and a hexagon. It's just really simple shapes. Really make it a lot easier to get clean modeling done. Yeah, that's kind of my. That's what makes me happy about the course. Being able to offer those sorts of things, those little extras, things that'll be helpful in accomplishing the course. And then in addition to that, yeah, Gavin, I remember, yeah, you messaged me a few times about things that you'd gone through and used it on. Yeah. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, there we go. It's like, what am I doing? What's going on? Why did it disappear? It's because I selected an IMM brush. Pay attention, Stephen. Pay attention. You will learn the ways of the universe. Okay. But yeah. So yeah, different resources, things that are helpful in kind of going through the course and understanding different aspects of it, or being able to accomplish the different tasks and whatever. And then there's also a special Discord group. Let me go ahead and open it up real quick. Yeah, so I've got this special Discord group. Okay, made specifically for the course, so anybody who wants to be able to be part of that, there's a work in progress feedback group here, channel, and then I've got different examples or things like that, just things that people can use as reference or inspiration. And then there will be a quarterly gallery. So at the end of each quarter of the year, I'll go through and I'll put up like best of terms sort of things. So it's really fun. I find it to be a helpful and good resource, and hopefully so far the people that have been using it, the people that have gotten it have made good use of it. So I'm really excited about it. And then I also give feedback for people who are going through the course. So yeah. ¿Cuáles consideras que son las habilidades más importantes para trabajar en la industria 3D? Puedes responder en inglés. Okay, so What do you consider to be the most important abilities to be able to work in the 3D industry? The ability to observe and to be able to think critically. It's important to ask yourself questions of what you're seeing and what's making it look like that. So for instance, my original concepts here were just these sketches that I had done. Let's go ahead and turn up the opacity there so we can see them. These are my original sketches. And a lot of what when I'm sketching, I try to think about shape and form and perspective and things like that. But a lot of what I try to accomplish with what I try to accomplish with my model when I'm blocking it in or when I'm starting to model based off of these concepts is I'm trying to think about what shape is intended. I look at different things on the surface that help me to understand the form better. Like for instance, here along the front, I've got that kind of middle ridge that's helping me to understand. Okay, so this is rounded. It's not just this flat little triangle thing. The roundness on the top of the lights that helps me to be able to better create that the roundness of the be able to get that round surface here on the light here too. Yeah, lots of things kind of like that I try to look at and try to understand. And I go into this a little bit too in the course, talking about assessing your concept, and being able to pick out just little things about your concept that you need to understand and trying to think about it critically, so that you know how to create it in 3D. Because sometimes the translation is difficult. Could add the single poly to that IMM. It's pretty useful in the half primitive brush. I thought about that. I mean, usually if I need a polygon, I'll just go in with my topology brush and I'll just brush it out, and then I'm done. That's my polygon. I don't really have to worry about it. I've thought about adding it to that brush, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. One of the things that I had thought about was going through and kind of eliminating like half of this so that it was just like up to here. But then it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe I just need to go ahead and test it out. Perfect squares are hard. Perfect squares are definitely hard to draw. So yeah, if I were to get rid of that, I'd have something like that, and it just feels too little then. It doesn't feel substantial enough, I think. I'll leave it like that. I feel like this feels more complete, so we'll keep it at this for now. But it's also really pretty rare that I feel like I actually need a perfect square per se. And if I did, I mean, I could just use the cubes. The cubes are really nice. And then just get rid of whatever faces I don't need. Again, I mean, it's extra steps, but I mean, it's, I don't know. One of the hard things about having a single face is that if you're not careful, if you like unmask and then control click unmask it again, it'll go through and it'll like this. It's a kind of a cool trick, but I mean it's like I never have a way to be able to use it. Oh, actually, I don't have that brush in here anymore. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to. But it's like if you go through and you refresh it and you get rid of your mask and then control click and drag again, it'll kind of like bridge the meshes together. Whatever polygroup you drew it out on. So yeah, it's interesting from that standpoint. I'm going to turn off the headlight covers just so I don't have to worry about being bothered. And then here, let's try to get this try to get this filled in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 5. I don't want to do 6 here because then that'll be just too much. I think that this should be hopefully enough. Not that one. Okay, let me see. I want to take this. I'm going to say stitch to endpoint. Okay, so you can see kind of more or less what's happening here. And then I'm going to say inset. Let's say polygroup all. Hopefully this is like the only bit. Yeah, it should be the only bit. Inset that. And then here's what we'll do. Take this. Grab these. We'll say deformation. Polish groups. I obviously need to make some changes, but it's working. Polygrons, new in ZBrush 2030. Shh, I'm gonna have you sign an NDA. Let's boost that intensity again just to be able to get that to go faster. Okay. So this one, I definitely want to have this one be a little bit larger than it is. I hate it when that happens. There we go. Okay, let's grab this. Oh, let's turn on local symmetry. trying to decide if this shape right here, this red egg shape, is big enough for what I want. And it might just be a matter of getting the yeah, it's not quite as big as I'd like. So let's go ahead and let's do this. I'm going to say, let's take it down another 2. Okay, and then we'll say bridge. Say insert. Let's see, we're going to want this to go down, down. I'm going to say bridge these two together. And then let's say, oh, we got to do the same thing for the side over here. Let's say this to here. Just to make sure that that's, you know, outlined, something that we can understand. Stitch that to there, stitch that to there, and then we got to bridge a little bit. Let me see, this shape's going to be a little interesting. Let's go ahead and say that goes up and then that goes up and through. It needs to go, this needs to be split. That's going around, that's fine. Yeah, this part's going to be a little bit interesting to play with because it's such an irregular surface. We can get it. So this is how this one's supposed to go. We'll go say bridge like that. This one will go across. Say slide, you bring that down. Say extrude. Okay. This seems easy enough. All we have to do is let's just go ahead and we'll say insert single edge loop. And then we just need to ease this out so that it's not so together. Let's go ahead and say slide that up, slide that up, slide it up. And that'll be a little bit better. So you just got to cozy it on out. Very nice. see. That's going up and around. That needs to go. Let's delete that. Bridge this. Delete that polygon. Which means I'll probably end up having to add in another loop down here as well. Let's see kind of what's going on here. Okay. So I know that I want this to be a 5-pointed star, which means that I need to have, let's say, extrude. Let's see, stitch those together. Stitch those to stitch. Oh, the other way around. Come on, let's go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's better. Which means that that's better. For personal work, would you always use Spotlight as ref or just work loose? I pretty much always use Spotlight. I find it to be super helpful. super helpful. It's super helpful. But yeah, I mean, the nice thing is that it's always there until you don't need it, and you can turn it off. You know, I can turn it off, or I can adjust it, or I can resize it. You know, however I want to do. So it's really nice from that standpoint. Okay, let's get the other loops in here to be able to bridge these together. And let's slide. Let's go ahead and slide the edge loop too. I should have actually been working on this side because that's the side that'll mirror over if there's a problem. Here, let's go ahead and do this mirror geometry, mirror and weld. So now we've got both sides being exactly the same. And oh, that's pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and make those the same. Control W. Let's go ahead and get that. Okay, now we can polish this. And that feels much better to me. In fact, what we'll do, let's grab, since we're here, might as well, right? Let's say polish by groups. And we'll do the same thing we did earlier. We'll just kind of adjust these other groups so that they're the right size. I'm going to have to kind of adjust this as needed to fit this surface just a little bit better. Control H to be able to hide that mask. Super helpful. Control helpful to control hide that that mask. Let's grab these, invert that mask, freeze our gizmo rotation. I'll just kind of pull this back and in. Now each of these I'm going to want to add some sort of bulb cover, just to be able to add to that vehicle vibe. But yeah, I mean, it's coming along. It's coming along. Yeah. So part of the idea that I have is to have like, and I've done some exploration on it, some sort of facial tattoo, facial marking, something. I've done a little bit of exploration, but still got a long way to go. Let's see, where is it? It is over there. How do I need to? There we go. So yeah, getting kind of some different ideas there and playing with different ideas as swirls, and I think I might have sketched other things other places too. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, right now he looks very vanilla, you know, so he's he's too regular. But yeah, definitely some sort of facial marking. In fact, maybe I'll explore that a little bit. Okay, let's make a new layer. Let's give it a name. We'll call it face tattoo. I'm going to go through and say, let's say stroke, turn up my lazy radius. I might, let's say dots. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, it's still a little bit, that's a little bit too, oh, different color would be ideal. But the alpha might not be quite the alpha that I want. Let's try a square alpha. Nah, definitely not the right look. We'll just go ahead. We'll use the paintbrush. Turn off the alpha. We'll just use a standard. And something like this might be something that I need to go ahead and do with you know, inside of a different program. So once I go through and do my once I go in and do my, what's it called, my texture pass or whatnot, you know, being able to overlay any tattoos either through like over top of the Photoshop file. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Cool facial tattoos. I don't want to go all gangster on him. Let's go, let's go with natives. Because they're different people. Ooh. Yes, like that's beautiful. I love that. I love the Maori, and I love like different Native American sort of facial tribal scarring. It's such an interesting thing, though. It's like I love the Maori. Like the Maori are just. It's just such a beautiful thing. I mean, never do it to myself. It is weird though to see white people with those tattoos. Because I don't know that they look into what it actually means. I'm going Celtic. National pride wounded. I'm a little confused. Let me see. Do I use Dynamesh much? Yeah. Yeah. Lately, I mean, really, it kind of depends on what I'm making, but let's go. Let's check it out. But a lot of what I do, there's Nordic. This is kind of cool. I like that idea. Where it's just kind of like one thing kind of coming off of the ear. East side. No curiosity as to where he's from. Unless it was a prank and they did it to him while he was asleep. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. Wonder what people this would belong to. It's a carving. It's not a real person, from what I'm gathering. I mean, the hole in the ear is enough to give it away as like pottery, and the hair doesn't look real, but it's still really fascinating. The swirls and things. That's real. From Taiwan, and then Celtic. I don't know if that's really even Celtic or not, but it's kind of a cool idea that we got from looking up Celtic. Yeah, I don't want to get like too far onto the face unless it's like some sort of interesting stripe kind of going across half the face. Some lights in the scarification. That's interesting. I mean, some of the other things that I thought about was like let's keep that one up. I don't need this one though. Let's say cyberpunk character. Some of these are a little bit too human. But you know, like sometimes you'll see characters that have like the grooves, like the metallic grooves kind of etched into their faces. Like this guy right here, got like little grooves kind of cut into his face. I have no idea what in the heck that's supposed to even be, but you know, that's kind of interesting. Okay, I got about 20 minutes left. I was gonna say is like I here we'll say open image in a new tab. Yeah, the Cyberpunk 2077 has some of that kind of going on in there. It's kind of interesting. So that sort of thing is kind of intriguing to me. I actually had a character like that I had to go in and sculpt at one point, and like I had to model that in. It was for a for a modeling test for a company. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, let's grab this. You know what? Maybe I'll go ahead and just kind of draw it. Let's turn on see-through. Say something like this, and then we will bring this way down in size. Let's kind of bring that out, something like that. Pull that across or something like that. Do something like that, and then kind of an interesting base. We'll kind of play with this a little bit. Oops. Let's turn off that see-through mode. I'm not sure that I'm liking it, but I'm not very far into it either, so it's like, do I keep going and judge it later, or do I just kind of hang up on it and say, sorry, I just didn't like you? Yeah, that's true. Circuit board sort of design. Let me see. pull that up a little bit. let's just change from this to this. We'll say alpha off, stroke to drag dot. That is way too soft. Let's get this focal shift up a little bit higher. That's not soft enough. That's good. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look up certain reference. Bioluminescence. Yeah, I think that some sort of bioluminescence could be really, really cool. I'm going to leave this layer there for now, but I'm not going to worry about having anything on it yet. Maybe what I'll do is I will take clay buildup, turn off Z-add, turn on RGB, and we're just gonna come in here and just kind of give him a little bit of a paint smear across his face. For now. And then we'll just go ahead and we'll turn it off. Or we could turn it on, we could turn the opacity down. I don't know, you know, whatever. We'll turn it off for now. Because that was stupid. And it may even be worth going through and doing something like that to be able to block in the idea for the tattoo. But I think that eventually what I'm going to do is take the you know, like essentially design it out either on paper or design it out in Photoshop or something like that, and then I'll project it onto his face, which I think that'll work a lot better. I still need to go through and kind of model out the pants more and give him more pockets, things like that. Let's go ahead and save him. I know I saved just a minute ago, but it's like I've got to save every time or else I forget and I lose it. Yeah, just doodle it out in 2D and then figure it out. I think this is probably going to be where I leave things for today. I have, just a few minutes left on my timer. I've got some other things I got to start working on for today too, so I'm gonna call it here for right now. You know, it doesn't feel like we got a ton done, but we got a bunch of stuff done. Okay, so hopefully that was cool to you guys. It was cool to me. I'm grateful you guys were here to share it with me. And well, yeah. So like if you guys want to be able to find me anywhere, you know where to find me. I'll be here probably off and on over the next few weeks, and then I'll be steering. My goodness, I will be streaming on the Pixelogic channel on Friday. Which I believe, the stream group are doing like love themed sculpts for our Pixologic streams. So you can kind of look around and kind of see what people do. I'm not sure what I'll do yet. If I do anything, I might just keep going in and do something still related to this guy. I don't know. Maybe I won't, and maybe I'll be not be a party pooper. Join the party. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, for now that's where it stays. I have to decide if I like that or if I like the other way. The idea was to really just go through and kind of add in a groove there so that it was just separate panels. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we'll leave it there for now. And yeah, I'll probably be back on again, tomorrow or something like that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how the schedule goes. And thanks for coming and having fun, and I'll see you around the next time.